Welcome to Good News You Can Use,
Ooh, I love it.
featuring
Good what? Good what?
Good News You Can Use, featuring Raven Blair Glover, the media maven. If you don't know Raven, she is a 2016 Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award winner. She is the founder of Raven International Media. She is a 5-time award-winning talk show host. Raven, thank you so much for the opportunity to spread good news you can use with you.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I am just thrilled. You guys know this man. This is Jeff the Man Wolf. Okay. He got it like that. He just does. And he is a amazing speaker extraordinaire and a consultant. And he's been part of Raven TV now for, I guess, a year or so, right? And we're
Yep.
happy to have him. And, Jeff and I, one thing we have in common, and we know our viewers and listeners have it in common too, and that is we are about lifting people, right? Right, Jeff?
Yes.
We like to lift
Yes.
people up, especially during this pandemic. Look, let's just ask them, Jeff, don't you need some lifting up right now? Come on.
Come on now, you can admit that. Sorry, I'm having an internet problem here, Raven. I lost my audio feed there for a minute.
That's okay. I was sharing with them that you and I love lifting up the world, and we know everybody is looking for that now. It's just way too much on the news. I don't know about you. Sometimes I have to say, back away from the TV, really.
Yeah. Well, I stopped watching the news in the 1990s. I still get information, but in terms of watching broadcast news, it was just taking too much of my emotional time. And especially this year, I'll spend a couple minutes here and there checking for information that we need to know.
Yeah.
But beyond that, there's just too much garbage.
It's way too much garbage, and it brings you down. So that brings us to the purpose of, you want to tell me why we decided to do Good News You Can Use?
I would love to. And, this year, 2020 has been really a crapshoot. There has been the pandemic's just been one of many things that has just really been, creating life out of control. A lot of people have a sense of feeling out of control. I've had that at times, those mornings where I wake up at 3 a.m. for no reason, feeling kind of panicked. And it's like, what's that about? And it's just the environment that we're in this year. And that makes it so hard to see the positive, to catch people in the act of doing something good, spreading hope, helping other people for no other reason than they had the opportunity to do it. And we need more of that type of news than the stuff that barrages us on social media. It's just, I'm not going to pick on any source or anything or any particular view or anything like that. It's just, no matter where you're coming from, you, as you're watching this, really, haven't you just been feeling like you have been rained on with something that smells bad most of the year?
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Not rained on, poured on. Poured on. It wasn't dripping rain. It was just poured too much. And so Jeff and I, we got together. We started the Good News You Can Use when we did the Broadcasters Unite, which is a phenomenal series we did to lift people up. And
now, is that still available on Raven International Media?
Yes, it is. But we're going to re-air the whole thing and ask our viewers as we continue to do this next couple of weeks, Jeff, to send in something that we can add to it. And we're going to replay that during the holiday time,
Good.
Lift people up. And so Jeff did this amazing good news report. And I'm like, that's the guy I need as my co-host. So let me publicly thank you for saying yes. And thank you for tuning in. Now, today, we just wanted to come out and let you know what's coming. Right, Jeff?
Yes.
This is what's coming. Good news for you, my friend. And let's give them a little piece of what we're talking about. I don't know, but I was surprised, and I don't know if you guys even knew about this, but they had back in November, around the 2nd or 5th, they did a Dance for Kindness challenge. I thought that was so cool. When I stumbled up on that today, I was like, we got to share this because I love to dance. And you know, Jeff, when you dance, like everybody says, they can put on the happy song by Pharrell and get happy no matter what's going on. And dancing just does that for you, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Just something about waving your hands in the air, right? Like the song said, wave your hands in the air like you just don't care. How it changes. I mean, for me, when I dance, it changes my state of mind. It's infectious. I pick up on the energy of the other people having fun.
Yeah, and I think we have a clip on that, right? Queued up that we can.
We do. So this, as you're watching this, we wanted to share this with you. This is a little bit of what these folks were about because it just resonated with Raven and I because this is exactly the type of information, you know, the stories that we want to share with you that we'll be sharing with you as good news you can use moves forward. So here.
Yeah, and Jeff, you might want to take out that ad clip that's going across the video if.
Like that. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Y'all check this out. You're gonna love it.
Never doubt that a small group of committed people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. To some, the world is filled with war, hatred, violence, and hopelessness. But together, we have the power to fill this world with kindness, trust, hope, and love. With the onset of COVID-19 and our new reality, Life Vest Inside is motivated to ensure that our emotional connection is alive and well, although we may not be able to connect physically. Dance for Kindness has always been a time of incredible joy, celebration, connection, and solidarity. COVID-19 will not take that away from us, but rather challenge us to think outside of the box and reimagine what's possible.
And I love that. Reimagine what's possible.
Yeah, and what did she say? Joy and shoot, I had it on the tip of my tongue. But anyway, she talked about even during the COVID time, you know, we still can bring joy in our life. Yeah, so it's kind of like all kind of things can happen around us, and we do have to take that time to feel what we feel. You know, that's our right. To cry, to scream, whatever we need to do. But then eventually we have to let it go and move on. And one thing that I found that's helped me, Jeff, I don't know if you feel the same, and that is I've learned to control the controllable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Learn to control the controllable.
Yeah, you got to let go of stuff that you absolutely have no control over. And that's easier said than do it, right? Because we, especially if you're an entrepreneur, we're used to controlling stuff a lot, right? And if you're a mom and dad, you're really used to controlling stuff a lot. So that's a hard thing. And, you know, I want to invite everybody that's listening to think about what we just seen in this short clip, and you can go check it out. Where can they go check it out? At
danceforkindness.com. And I'm going to set up a banner. I should have just a half step behind her. I'm going to set up a banner so they can see that on the screen. So it's Dance for Kindness. Bear with me. Dance for, that's FOR for. Kindness. I do spell occasionally and sometimes even correctly.
Reimagine. As you look at the screen, they say reimagine what's possible. And I love that. And we want to invite you to reimagine what's possible. And here's the thing. Good news for you is to help push you out of where you are now, feeling low, feeling like you don't have a lot of energy, feeling like enough is enough, and it is enough. But we want to lift you up. And we felt like coming out here and giving you some good news at least once or twice a week. We're still working out the schedule because we're not being real structural on this. We're just coming from the heart, right, Jeff?
Yes.
So, you know, we're going to come from the heart. And I'm sure when you see us on, when you see good news for you, you know, it's going to lift you up because everybody every day says they're so sick of hearing the repetitiveness of the same story. I can watch 5 different news channels and it's the same freaking story all the time. And it's more deaths, more sickness, more politics, more all that stuff. And we know it's there. important, don't get us wrong, but
Right.
how much can a person take? We got to continue living. I ain't planning on going nowhere, guys. We're gonna
Well,
be here.
and there's the key. There's the key. We have to continue with daily life. It's not, we're not ignoring what's going on around us. What we are doing is pushing back a little bit and going, look, we need to move on with daily life. No matter what, we still have to eat. We have to take care of paying bills, work, family, and all that. And we choose to find some joy in that. Suffering is a choice.
Yeah.
Joy
And so
is a
I
choice.
like the dancing thing. We're gonna go check out that whole site and the dancing in it. And I'm going to give kudos to the founders and CEOs of Dance for Kindness. I stumbled across you and it made me happy. And so you guys got to check out the whole entire video. We're not going to stay long. I do want to also touch on a couple other good news. You got anything that you stumbled across?
Well, I have two things that I'd like to tease that we'll go into deeper in the future.
Okay. Yeah.
So imagine walking down the street in your neighborhood and you turn and look off to your side and there's a path through the bushes that opens up to a big smiley face made of rocks that invites you into a gratitude garden.
Ooh, nice.
So we have a story about that. It's someone in their neighborhood. So this is even during COVID because it's outdoors. People can social distance, practice the right protocols. Parents show up with their kids. It's an interactive wildlife habitat that someone created in their front yard that has become a whole community participation.
Wow. I love that. See, just hearing that, I feel like I can breathe easier. It took a heaviness off my heart because we're so wrapped up into what's going on. We don't realize there's good things going on. Like I was reading on a coronavirus, KRUNA virus.com. They talked about, let me just pull this actual topic up. They talked about need uplift this holiday, give thanks for these silver lining stories. And then it goes on to say that the arts team of the Los Angeles Times, they compiled their favorite silver lining stories from pandemic. And we are going to be sharing some of those with you guys, but you can go to KARUNA virus.com. I don't know if I guess that's Corona. Yeah, coronavirus.com. And you can read the full story. They got a lot of exciting. They show this guy that I guess he gave what is that? A donkey. He's holding a donkey like a baby.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you got to go check it out. It's just so many different stories. If you guys know of a good news report that you want to send, Jeff and I just make a comment on Facebook and just say, I have some good news to share. And who knows, we might even bring you on the show. Jeff or I will call you.
That's right.
We'll capture it, or if you just want us to mention it. Yeah, we want to lift you guys up. I wanted to do this during the graduation time, but we didn't do that because we would have been, acknowledging the people that graduated. But there's so many things going on. I know one thing is we want to take a moment and acknowledge all those people front and center in this mess. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So we acknowledge you. And there's good stories coming out of that too. There's more bad stories, but the few good stories, Jeff and I want to capture. What are the good stories?
There's hope.
Yeah,
there's hope, and you're not alone. We're in this together, and that's why we want to step up with some positive and say, look, we're here with you. We're here for you. You're not alone. There's hope for all of us, and we are moving forward together.
Yeah, and it looks like we'll be turning the corner on this thing. It won't be till next year, and we just want to make sure that you continue to stay safe. Put your health and safety and those around you. Make that a must. And have a wonderful holiday. We'll be coming out here before then, but this is holiday season. Figure out some way you can be with your family and at the same time practice social distance. And they sit on one side of the couch, you sit on one. There's lots of ways to do it. You just have to, I think you said think out the box earlier.
And speaking of think outside of the box, could I offer something for your consideration that I learned from, this gentleman as well. I heard him on a live stream that he was doing, Glenn Morshower.
Oh, Glenn, I love Glenn. Yeah.
Or he was talking about, actually it's physical distancing, but social gathering using live stream and the other tools that are available to us
Yes.
while we're
Yes.
doing what we need to do.
Yeah. I love that. And technology, that's good news.
Mhm.
Can you
Right?
imagine, Jeff, if this would have happened,
Oh,
decades ago?
even 10 years ago,
Oh
a
my
lot
goodness.
of the technology that makes it easy and affordable didn't exist 10 years ago. To be able to do the types of live stream broadcasts like this would have cost thousands of dollars and taken, a crew of highly trained professionals. And to be able to do the online meetings and remote work that people were doing,
It's all,
at
yeah.
best, it would have cost a lot. And to do it from home, we wouldn't have had we wouldn't have had fast enough internet access to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of good news like that. I mean, I have
Mhm.
talked to people that teachers, one of our hosts, Barkley Fisher's wife, Priscilla, she has mastered Zoom now, and she can help us, other teachers, and show them how. So there's a lot of, believe it or not, guys, there's a lot of
Mhm.
businesses being created right during this time, during this pandemic. And you know why? Because of today's technology. So let's
Mhm.
give today's next topic technology a good yay!
Absolutely. Today's technology. And you mentioned something. I got real excited because you reminded me of a statistic that I heard yesterday morning that just made my head go, oh my gosh.
What was that?
There was a 70% jump. I believe I've got this right. It was on the order of a 70% jump in new business starts during 2020.
Isn't that
Because
amazing?
so many people are starting their own thing from home. They're starting a side hustle while they're still working full-time or part-time during this crisis. And it's just amazing to see that spirit of, okay, what value can I add? How can I help out? And how can I help, make a living for myself and my family in the process? So kudos to the entrepreneurs that are finding more ways to serve in the midst of, to
All
put it
this
politely, chaos. It's
in the
just
midst of
amazing.
absolutely. And you hear it over and over again. I was talking to a client and she was saying she hated being at home at first and trying to be a teacher and teach the kids and everything. But now her and her husband and their family, they're seeing how much time they missed by them driving. I think one person had to drive like almost 90 minutes to and from. So a lot of people are talking about, wow, it's a pain in the butt, but my family and I are connecting more,
Mhm.
and that we're, I used to be able to kiss my kids good night when I got home. Now I actually get to spend some time with them, read the books with them. Some people are even breaking out the puzzles. Me and Khalik were talking about that. My husband,
Yeah.
just getting a puzzle and everybody just putting it together, playing games. And we're not trying to overlook what's really going on. Again, we're just bringing good news out there, things we hear
Mhm.
about, the ideas out there, because we're here and we can only control the controllable. So let's all focus on the good news, the good things as much as we can. Hey, I live in this world like you, so I know there's a lot going on that we don't talk about on this show because we want to keep your spirits up. So there are things that we cannot get past. I get that. But one thing we can do is search for the joy, like that
Mm.
video, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
focus on what we can have control of that's going to lift our spirits. And I hope we have lifted everyone's spirits today because we just wanted to come out a short time. Jeff, any closing things you want to say?
Yeah. I really, just one thing. And Raven, you already said this so well. Look, it's a choice, suffering or joy. We want to bring some joy as an option to the table. There's plenty of other information out there. If you want to, dig into how tough it really is right now,
It's out there
fine.
too.
We're not doing that. We're going to give you some information so you can to help with the choice of joy. So then we can wade through the other stuff together.
That's right. So we hope you love hearing good news because we're going to be bringing more and more. We'll just be popping in here and there in the middle of your day. And you know what I think about that? That's almost like even a more pleasant surprise, right?
Mhm.
but just popping in throughout the day. There may be one day there's just so many good news. Me and Jeff do 3 of these. Our job is to keep you uplifted, and we're just coming from the heart, and we want to reach from our heart to your heart, and all of us get through this by focusing more on good news you can use. Yes, yes, yes.
Absolutely.
That's a wrap for me.
That's a wrap for me too, Raven. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be part of this with you and to bring some good news, to our communities. And for you watching, thank you for being here. Thanks for participating in this. We're grateful for you being there as well, because the good news is together we're getting through it.
Absolutely. Let's close out with just a little piece more of that video and leave them with something that they can keep on their mind.
Absolutely.
Maybe we can find a part where they can dance. I like that. Dance for kindness. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dance.
Let's see.
Kindness.
Your very first challenge. As you complete the challenge,
so they're doing this as a
points,
challenge. So here's
back.
something you really need to go, and I'm with you, Raven. I love helping these folks get their message out. Dance for kindness.
And be entered to win prizes.
So you can win. What a great way to gamify it. There's just so much packed into what they're doing. Yeah. It's good news. And yes, you're right. As you're watching this, I'm stalling so I can find the clip where they're all dancing, because it is amazing.
It's hard for you guys to dance, but while he's looking for that, look at all the people out there. Look at the smiles. Yeah.
Right. That's what it's all about.
Now, of course,
successfully has 250.
Because not the pictures because nobody's wearing a mask, but I get their point. Yeah.
Well, I assume that they filmed that at a time that it wasn't necessary for the masks.
Right. Right.
Yeah. I was looking. There's a great dance clip here, and I just did not have that queued up. I apologize. But what this reminds me of is I grew up around the Depression generation, and what stuck with me from listening to them as a kid was they talked about how tough it was during the Great Depression. And in the same breath, before they even inhaled again, they talked about how much fun they had.
Oh, wow.
And they say, see, that's where I learned, joy is a choice. Like, look, no matter what's going on around you, how do you want to live?
How do you want to live? Control the controllable. Control only what you have the control on. The rest you have to let go, because it will bring you down. So let's smile, let's be happy, let's feel what we need to feel. There's a lot going on, but then take a moment and focus on what good is going around with you. It's what can I be grateful for? When I wake up every day, I look at my husband, I look at our house, and I'm like, well, we're shut in, but we're not in jail. This is house, so we can go out and walk around the pool, sit outside, sit on the porch, and we're at home. You just gotta focus on that. But anyway, we didn't want to take up much of your day. I guess we can wrap it up, Jeff, by just reminding them what they're watching. What are they watching, Jeff?
Good news you can use.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
Right on. Thanks for joining us.